Hello, I thought this book a weird Gilbert. Want to finish Tony Ross. This is not my new book. Chapter 1. One bright summer day, everyone in the castle was busy doing the things that you would expect them to be going. Okay, escape them to be doing. The king was in the counting house, counting out this money. The queen was in the parlor eating bread and honey. However, the maid had summoned else to the landlady as it was her day off. The not-so little Princess Lodi was sitting in the sunshine under the big load bush. This is Rose. She was thinking of story and telling them out to Gilbert the teddy, who was looking into her and listening very carefully. She had just got to the part in her story where Prince Billy had fallen down a big hole, landed upside down in a puddle of mud and been rescued by the fire brigade when she saw her friend Ollie coming through the bathroom curtain. He was doing his usual funny walk. Grabbing his teddy, Lodi jumped to her feet and waved at him. She was just about to go and meet him when she looked down at the bear in her arms. "I can't let him see you without Teddy," she said to herself. "He's taking a baby." Feeling very silly, she stuffed poor Gilbert into the bush behind her and hope Ollie they hadn't seen. "What's that?" said Ollie, jumping from one foot to the other. She pointed to the bush where Gilbert was hanging by one arm. What? Asked Lodi. She had to think fast or Ollie would find out that she still played with her daddy. "Dad," he said, and dived into the lodge bush before she could stop him. She pulled his Gilbert and smiled. "Ah, poor old Ted," he said. "How could you dump in a bush, old bean, and just I gave you be the good friend to you." George pretended he didn't care. Snatching Gilbert out of Ollie's hand, she stuffed him back in the bush. "Oh, well, he isn't mine," said Lodi, going pink in the face. "He belonged to my baby brother, Prince Billy. He lost a leg, so I was setting him up. Not my brother, of course. He didn't lose a leg. The teddy, he lost a leg, and What a fever to you, Gilbert. How could she say all that about me? There is nothing wrong with my legs." And she went into shock. Ollie just looked at Lodi with his jolly smile pretending over his face. Lodi wasn't sure if Billy perceived better. Chapter 2. Lodi and Ollie ran off into the sunshine to play some dreams. They left Gilbert all alone dangling in the bush and feeling sorry for himself. Ladybirds and beetles clawed over him. A caterpillar walked up his leg and Tommy ran over his nose and into his ear. "This is too much for a lawyer Teddy to put up with. I hope she comes back to call at me soon," she did. But hours and hours went by, and soon darkness crept up over the garden. The night creatures came out and began making their strange noise. Gilbert had a touch of the collywobbles with as your granny, you know. Maybe means you was a bit scared. Back at the castle, Ollie had gone home. It was a Lodi bedroom. "Have you seen Gilbert?" he said to the maid. "Silly girl," exclaimed Maisie. "Can't you remember where you left him?" but Lodi was too tired to think, and after being tucked firmly in a comfy bed, she fell asleep. She awoke suddenly in the darkness horror of the night and remembered where she had left her old teddy. I must go and get him now. He will be scared alone. She climbed out of bed and tiptoed over to the bathroom door, which always creaked so loudly when it was open. A long corridor outside was dark. He hardly think anything, but she found her way by the moonlight. She had a scary feeling in her tummy, but being brave, she carried on until she came to the large painting of great green until Montgomery, nowhere above the main staircase. The moon lit up his fearsome eyes, and it seemed as if we were looking straight at her. She screamed fright and scurried back along the corridor into her bedroom and her warm bed. It was all painting, she kept telling herself, but still she turned over, stuck her bone barely in her mouth, and went back to sleep. Gilbert did have to wait until tomorrow. Chapter 3. The next morning, Gilbert was still hanging in the lodge brush. "What's this?" said a voice. Gilbert was pulled off the bush into the bright sunshine by a large boy holding an axe. It was Jack, the woodcutter's son, who sometimes came to help in the castle gardens. "It's some old teddy. Look at it, been here for years," he said to himself. "I'm not an old teddy, I'm a royal teddy, and I only been here for a night." Dear Gilbert, he tried to kick the boy up, but of course nothing happened. Jack just stopped Gilbert in his pocket and forgot about him for the rest of the day. Of the afternoon, Jack was pulling on some reed over the riverbank. He ran to the over and splash! Gilbert slipped out of the pocket and into the stream. "I have turned into a fish." Gilbert, this is fun. Flapping his arms and legs, he was whisked away by the fast-flowing water, down over the meadow, out of the castle ground, and into the green, sunny countryside beyond. Just as he was going to go under the bridge, a dustbin lorry full of bin men came along the road. One of the men saw Gilbert, so they stopped it. The bin man pushed Gilbert out of the way. "What are you got there, Fred?" called the driver. "They're an old teddy bear. I'm going to add him to the collection." He squeezed the water out of Gilbert and stuck him on the front of the lorry along with the other interesting bits and pieces found by the bin man. Old locked doors, plastic flowers, and broken toys. "You're a smart-looking bear. What are you doing here with us?" said the one-eyed girl. "I don't know," said Gilbert, with his nose in the air. "I belong to his lodge, the princess of all the land. I'm her favorite toy." "Yeah, a likely story. I bet Princess Lodge just got fed up with you and threw you away. Who do you think you are? My Mr. High and Mighty Flumpy Bum Grove." And with that, the one-eyed girl pushed Gilbert so hard she fell off the dustcat and to the dusty road. She rolled around in the dirt as the cart rolled off its way. Gilbert lay on the side of the road, feeling sorry for himself. That wasn't a nice thing to happen, but a horrible dolly he threw. "Maybe Lodge doesn't care about me after all." She tried to hide me in the lodge brush. Gilbert sat down at his dusty toad, thinking deeply, but being a happy sort of bear, she cheered himself up by thinking nice thrills. Luckily for Gilbert, Rosie was thinking about him. She hadn't got that up that morning and she got straight out to find him. But of course, when she went to look for him in the rose bush, she wasn't there. She asked the king and queen if they see her teddy bear, and she asked everyone in the castle to help her look for him. By lunchtime, they had all been looking for dear old Gilbert for hours, but he couldn't be found. Oh dear. Chapter 4. Gilbert was still lying on the road when along came a gang of loud schoolboys on the way to play football, chatting noisily. They stopped when they saw the old teddy. Oh boy, Dabby picked Gilbert up and tugged it around his arm. When they got to the football field, Big Lanny grabbed Gilbert from Dabby. He gave Gilbert an almighty kick as he fell football. Poor Gilbert went up into the air, higher than the rooftop, then back again. He ran straight into gaping jaws of the scrubby little black and white dog that oofed and leaped around in excitement. He ran off across the flying field, carried Gilbert with him. "Oi, I found him!" shouted Dabby, but it was too late. The dog had gone and the teddy had gone with him. The dog ran through the town with Gilbert tightly in his jaws. He was pleased in his pride, and he was going to take him home. A little girl named Annie was playing with her dolls on the doorstep when her dog came in through the back leg. He ran straight up to Annie and pushed the teddy into her head. "Wow, what have you found, Willie?" he said, giving a pat or quick drop on his hairy head. "Oof!" Willie looked very pleased with himself to give Gilbert a wet, sloppy lick all over. "Yuck! That is horrible and slimy," drew Gilbert. "Maybe wash me at least once a year, and that is bad enough." "Come on," Annie said to Gilbert. "I'm going to put you in my bag and take you out with this afternoon. Mom said we're going something special." Down in the garden by the counter, the interesting Akinu TV show had come to town. The show was very popular with people who liked to collect old things. Annie's mom, Mrs. Withershaw, had bought tickets to go eat it. The clever planter the clever philosopher Tom Watrod was about to go in front of the TV cameras and talk about the rather battered old bear that Mrs. Withershaw had bugged along, as he had rubbing his nose further by the make-up girls. And chatting to Mr. Shaw, Annie had an idea. "I will put my new teddy on the table so soon he can make friends with the manky old bear," he said to herself. Annie opened her bag and dumped Gilbert down on the table right next to the old bear. When Tom Watrod turned back, he was shocked angling the old teddy. He stared hard at Gilbert. "Mrs. Winslow," he said, picking Gilbert up. "It's all my years on this show. I had never seen such a rare and bountiful teddy. Where did you get him?" He turned Gilbert upside down to look at the lavender. "How rude, dear Gilbert. It's not nice to turn daddies up and down without asking them first." Chapter 5. Mrs. Withershaw was especially Beatrice, probably for the first time in her life. I I whispered. Well, said Tom, what right? This tat is very rare indeed, and I say was at least 3,000 ppp. Just then, there was a flurry of round feathers about the table, and a huge eagle snatched Gilbert out of Tom Mann's hand and carried him up high into the air. Up, 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 and away drew Gilbert. This is thrilling. I have never had so much excitement in the whole of my tatted life. Whee! He cried in delight as he flew upward, carried by the bird. Now I'm a bird, can I fly? He cannot fly with eyes like wings. The big brown eagle took a good look at this strange object he was carrying in his talons. You aren't a bird and you can't fly either, he drew. You certainly want to make a good supper for my chicks, so here goes. With that, he let go of the little teddy. Gilbert looked at his flapping arms and a terrible realization came over him. He didn't have wings after all. He started to drop like a stone. Meanwhile, Lottie was still looking for Gilbert. When she last saw him, she hadn't been very nice to him. Perhaps that will teach you a lesson to look after your things, Lady Matey. And she told her up to get with making some jam trail to cheer Lottie up. Ollie came round again. He saw that Lottie was very sad. You shouldn't be ashamed of being found on old Teddy, he said. Let me show you what I love. He put a dirty pink fluffy toy from his back pocket. May I introduce you to Midge, he said, waving another old note. This is what is left of my old toy rabbit. One eye was hanging up on a piece of thread, and one ear was completely missing, but Ollie gazed him loftily. I will never part with him. He carefully put Midge back in his pocket. You're right. I never have been embarrassed about still loving Gilbert, said Lottie. Now she has an idea. I know I'll make Gilbert a poster to put up the castle. That's a good idea, said Ollie. Lottie got some paper and pens. She drew pictures of Gilbert and Ollie did the writing. Then they went and stuck them out area around the castle. Chapter 6. Lottie and Ollie spent all day putting up posters and asking everyone they met if they had seen Gilbert. Goodness knows where is it, Lottie said to Ollie. That's slumped down by the point to think about what else they could to do find him. He may be in some or else toy box by now, being looked after by some other little girl. She may not care of him properly. In fact, I may never see him again. Ollie looked closely at his friend's face. Her mouth set torn down the corners of her bottom lip was quivering. Lottie was going to burst into tears. High in the sky up, the big bird had just decided didn't want this hairy brown thing it had snatched and let Gilbert go. Gilbert came lushed down, passing crowd and trees, and landed a pond right in Lottie's lap. She couldn't believe her eyes. Ollie couldn't believe I either. He took off his glasses and craned them up to make sure he wasn't seeing anything. Oh, Gilbert, I lost you forever. Lottie squished Gilbert into the biggest hug she had ever given him. You will never guess where I have been and what I have done, drew Gilbert. I swam like a fish and flew like a bird, and I worked 3,000 ppp. Lottie gave Gilbert another huge squeeze. I don't care where you have been. I will never do holy duty again. I miss you so much. I'm just so glad you are home, she said. And so do you should me, said Gilbert as loudly as he could. And he gave himself an extra squeeze just for luck. And so Lucy, Ollie, and Gilbert went off to the kitchen to eat the jam tart made at bake. What a relief it will get Gilbert back. And as a Mrs. Witherhouse or Teddy, he was taken home, washed, and given the name Harry, and now has a plate of Orf paste in any toy box. The end. Bye-bye. See you next time. Oh, sorry. Bye-bye.